There we go. A solar flare's hit the skull and it's fallen apart. It was fine. It was fine until that solar flare hit it. So here we have a skull in two pieces. There's the cranium, there's the face. You can see it's lots of colours. These are the different energy systems we work with in holographic breathing for the face and cranium or for the skull. But today we're going to initiate the energies of the pelvis. Generally, well, I don't know, but from what I've seen, when people work with the sexual energy, it's just a general thing. It's the sexual energies rising from the pelvis as the kundalini or a beneficial energy traveling through the body. In holographic breathing, all of the different areas of the pelvis have different qualities. The different organs there have different qualities. They all have a sexual potency. And they all come together to make one energy. But they also live separately in their own energies. And well, I don't know what we'll get time for or how well this will roll on today, but we're going to see if we can work with 6 energies, which is what we generally work with in holographic breathing. And the first energy that we'll start with, I've got a pelvis, will work with the sit bones. Well, people know where their sit bones are, it's what you're sitting on. And the sacrum at the back, the middle of the sacrum. This is to do with the deep earth energies, the very grounded, deep, dark energies that we work with. And then the second energies we're going to work with will come forwards in the pelvis, and it ignites the fire circuit. Now, it's very easy to pass out when I'm talking. I don't know if I just bore people or whether it's the energies that come through, but it's really easy to start passing out when I start talking about the different energies. If that starts happening, just let my voice go through. You don't have to remember any of this. You don't have to take it on intellectually. I will be describing the different places in the meditation, but as we go through the energies, you're going to start feeling them to one level or another in your body. And there's kind of unconsciousness in the way of these different kind of energy meridians or energy paths and energy systems, and you can kind of meet that and start falling asleep. But just let my voice go through you, just be with it, use it as a meditation if you start passing out. The second energy is the fire energies that we'll be working with. These relate to the ovaries and testes, the prostate and uterus. And we've been working a lot with that. We're just finishing a 4 webinar series, and I call that the chalice and seed for both the men and women. The chalice is the uterus and prostate, the seed is the ovaries and testes. So that is more to do with the fire energies and more to do with the front of the pelvis. Then we're going to move into what I call the yellow energies. Now I'll go into this, actually I'm going to go through this fairly quickly and I'll show you the anatomy after you've learned holographic breathing. So the next energies, we go into the yellow energies. For the women, this is the clitoris. For the men, it's the erectile tissue of the penis. So that is more to do with the yellow energy and rises through the body in a very particular way. The fourth energies we're going to work with is more the lung circuit. It relates to the lungs, but in the pelvis, the sexual energies it relates to in the pelvis is the rectum and the sphincter muscle in the rectum. And this has a strong kundalini that rises up through the whole spine. So we'll be working with that area and energy centers for that area. Then the fifth energies that we're going to move into are more the blue energies. A lot to do with the kidneys and adrenals, but in the pelvis, it's the bladder, the urethra. For the women, it's the vagina, and for the men, it's the soft tissue of the penis. So that for the men, the penis, the erectile tissue is more the yellow energies, the urethra and the soft membranes more the blue energies, and in the women the blue energies, the vagina. And then we'll move into the higher energies which relate through the brain, also the arms and legs. And there's not an organ per se. This is the top part of the sacrum, the top part, the top of the wings of the pelvis, and the bottom part of the sacrum. And this releases a higher energy that works through the brain. So we're going to be working with those organs and with those energies. And this is strong. This isn't, oh, we're doing something. People who do these webinars and actually be with it and work, they say it's powerful. So what we're doing today is powerful. These energies rise up through the body and transform through the body and through the brain. They connect to the higher self and the divine energies. And they also connect down through the legs to the earth. And I'm not sure why I'm teaching this today, but I think it's because we're in the advanced webinars, we're working with so many things that are associated with that. As I say, we're just finishing the fire energies webinars, which people can join if they want. You can buy the whole series. So there's 3 recordings, and then the next one where we'll be working with the heart, or you can just come and pay for the heart one. So that is there if people wish. And the other one we're working with is the legs webinar, which is part of the higher circuit, the brain, the cerebellum, the arms and legs. And the same energies that we'll be working with in the pelvis today are mapped out in the legs. So this group is for newcomers, but it's also for the advanced people who are working in those 2 webinars. And we did the first legs webinar and there was problem with the sound, but also it was just really, really powerful. And I'm running another one of those on Easter Sunday, and in lots of different ways it relates to Easter. But once those same energies in the pelvis are relating to those same energies in the legs and in the arms, you're not just getting the kundalini running up through the body and connecting into its counterpart in the higher self. It travels out through the arms and legs. And otherwise you think, well, this will just be really grounding. But no, it just makes it much stronger. Kind of makes it universal. It connects to the earth, it connects to everything around. But the earth is part of all of the planets. It makes it a universal energy. And so we're doing that in the advanced webinars. And anybody who's learned holographic breathing, and definitely if you've come to this one, you can participate in those advanced webinars. Now, I talked about that in a way just to give people time to get here. So I think hopefully everyone is here now. So first of all, I'm going to teach holographic breathing, and in the meditation that we do to learn the holographic breathing, I'll also work through the different levels of energy in the face and cranium. The lower energies through the face and through the cranium, the middle energies through the face and cranium, and the higher energies, just so you can see the different levels of energy, and that will connect people to the higher self and to the earth. And then in the second meditation, we will start with that, but start being with its counterpart in the pelvis and start connecting up those different energies. A holographic breathing, there is a gentle motion of the jaw. The lips are closed, relaxed and closed all of the time. The tongue is relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. People can start with that now. Definitely people, wave if you haven't done holographic breathing. Put your hand up if you haven't. Well, so new people, definitely pay attention. Definitely pay attention through the learning of holographic breathing, because if you don't get any of the little bits, it doesn't work. It's not just a visualization. There's a very real thing that happens in holographic breathing. And if all the little bits aren't working, nearly always I get someone saying, well, how do you do that then? How does that work? Because they've missed one of the bits. So just to pay attention as I'm teaching it and listen to these different instructions. Once it's going, it's totally natural. It just becomes part of the breath. But the initiation of it can be arduous, a little bit arduous. It takes application, and there are specific things that you have to learn or do in the correct way for it to work. So if you're new, definitely start off, just have your lips relaxed and closed and have your breath through the nose. And the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. It's the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And as much as feels comfortable, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to try and put the whole tongue on the roof of the mouth, just as much as feels comfortable. The tip of the tongue is close to or touching the front teeth. So that is in place. Now, I'm going to describe the movement, but it's probably not worth doing it until we go into the meditation, because it can feel a bit strange. I go into it in a particular way in the meditation, but as long as you're getting used to having the lips closed, the upper surface of the tongue on the roof mouth, that's fine for now. Then along with that, we'll be doing some exercises just to bring it in, and on the in-breath, the jaw is gently opening, and on the out-breath, the jaw is gently closing. So the lips stay closed, the tongue stays on the roof mouth, but within that, the jaw gently opens on the in-breath, gently closes on the out-breath. And it's a small motion. It's about half a finger width, 2 or 3 millimeters. It's not a big motion. It's very gentle. And once you get it, it will synchronize with your breath and just feel totally natural. I'm going to demonstrate it for a bit. You probably won't even see the motion, but you will notice that my lips are staying closed. You'll maybe notice that it's a meditative state. So I'm just going to do 3 or 4 breaths. And very, very quickly you drop into a deeply meditative place with holographic breathing. It just takes you somewhere straight away. Now you probably noticed it, if you saw it at all, very subtle motion of the jaw. The lips did not open. So I just want, well, everyone can try it, but definitely the new people, because soon as we get into the meditation, some people think, well, how is it possible to move the jaw and keep the lips closed? Just reading a comment. I couldn't read the comment, it's gone. But the lips stay closed all of the time in this. So what I want all of the new people to do is just, or everyone, have your lips closed and just start moving the jaw up and down. Just start getting a little motion of the jaw. And having the lips closed. Just notice that you do this every day when you're eating. It's a bit like chewing. You can move the jaw up and down, you can move it around, and you can keep the lips closed. Just trying that. Okay, you can let that come to an end. All right, just bearing in mind it's a small motion of the jaw. All right, I think I've covered everything. Oh, if it's your first time, do it sitting up. I've got a very mesmerizing voice, I've been told. Also, holographic breathing is totally soporific. It lives in a place halfway between the waking state and the sleeping state. So it's very easy to pass out. And that's not a problem unless you pass out before I've gone through all the instructions and you haven't actually got it. There's a very particular place where everything falls in line. It connects to the movement of the breath. You can take your awareness away from the jaw. You can just breathe through your body and the jaw just automatically doing that movement. And then as soon as that happens, then everything's fine. But if you fall asleep or lose awareness before that point, then you may have some problems with this, or you may not learn it, which would be a shame to come all of this way from wherever you've come to webinar land and not actually learn how to do the holographic breathing. All right, I think that's it. We're going to start. So if you're new, you definitely need to be seated and having your eyes closed. Let your eyes close. And we're going to bring in some resources, having your eyes closed and gently breathing. The people who know holographic breathing can breathe with holographic breathing. And sending a smile, sending some energy to the earth, and allowing the earth to say hello back. Allowing yourself to receive from the earth. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. Sending a smile, sending some energy to the higher self and the beneficial energies. The beneficial energies are any energies you like to work with, any higher beings, any healing energies, anything you're used to working with that's beneficial, and the higher self, saying hello, sending a smile to the higher self and the beneficial energies, and allowing the higher self and the beneficial energies to say hello back. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. and asking the earth, the higher self, and the beneficial energies to be with you through the whole webinar as your resource, as your guide, as your healing energy. So you are resourced and can heal yourself from your own resources, gently breathing. So having the lips relaxed and closed, having the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and gently moving the jaw up and down, like small, gentle, slow movements of the jaw, and having the lips relaxed and closed, and having the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The lips are relaxed and closed, the tongue is relaxed and on the roof of the mouth, the upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and making small up-down motions with the jaw. And just notice, hopefully you can keep your lips closed and the tongue gently on the roof of the mouth. And now slowing that movement down, and as the jaw is opening, let the breath come in through your nose. And as the jaw is closing, letting the breath leave through your nose. So the jaw slowly and gently opening, just a small movement, half a finger width, letting the breath come in. The jaw gently closes and the breath comes out through the nose. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. Relaxing the back of your neck, relaxing the back of your head, relaxing your whole body. The jaw gently opens, the lips stay closed, the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw gently closes, the breath leaves through the nose. Notice that it feels like a little bellows. That is, the jaw is opening, it's pulling the breath in through the nose. As the jaw is closing, the breath is coming out through the nose, relaxing the back of your neck. A bit of tension in people's necks, relaxing the back of your neck, relaxing the back of your head, relaxing the lungs. A lot of stuff in people's lungs these days. Relax your lungs. Okay, we're going to change the gestalt with that. Rather than having the awareness on the jaw or the jaw activated the breath, we're going to change it around and having the awareness on the breath coming in through the nose. As the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open. As the breath leaves through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how everything changes, how it becomes much softer, more meditative. You may feel an energy traveling through your brain and through your spine. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays relaxed and on the roof of the mouth all of the time. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, it relaxes closed. As the teeth come together, they just float together. They just very gently touch. There's no pressure. Breathing in, the teeth are separating, they're drifting apart. Breathing out, they're coming back together and gently touching. Or you can have it so that the teeth don't touch at all, so they just almost touch, but not quite. Relaxing the back of the head, relaxing the back of the neck. And now as people are getting used to this, we're just going to move the attention away from the jaw, being aware of your chest opening on the in-breath, and the jaw is opening with it. Breathing out, the jaw is gently closing, and the jaw gently closing with it. It's just integrated or integrating together with the breath. It's becoming part of the breath. As the ribs open, it instigates the movement of the jaw opening. As the ribs and chest relax on the out-breath, the jaw relaxes and closes. Breathing in, the chest opens, the jaw opens. Breathing out, the chest closes, the jaw closes. Dropping down into your abdomen. Breathing in, the abdomen opens and the jaw follows. Breathing out, the abdomen closes and the jaw follows. Relaxing the whole body. Breathing in, the abdomen is gently opening, the jaw is opening with it. Breathing out, the abdomen is closing, the jaw is closing. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. The whole torso opening on the in-breath, the jaw follows along. Breathing out, the whole torso closes, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how in a very subtle way your whole face has started to breathe, your whole cranium has started to breathe, the brain has started to breathe. It started a subtle motion through your brain and skull and through the neck and through the face. And you can feel it out through your arms and legs if every cell is opening as you breathe in. Every cell is closing as you breathe out. You can feel it in your hands opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. You've moved into a new mode of breathing. Notice how nurturing it feels. Notice how you can access the breath through your whole body, through your brain, through your skull, everywhere. And notice how different energies start moving through your body. You may feel things releasing and turning to energy. You may feel your spine releasing, energy running through your spine. You may feel energy traveling through your brain. You may feel the connection to the earth and the higher self becomes a whole breath. There's no effort. Once it's going, just integrates into the breath, and a whole new modality opens. Just being with that, relaxing into that. And feeling the jaw and the mouth. And notice how this feels quite grounded, maybe to do with the pelvis and abdomen. And also the lower back of the cranium. How they kind of connect together, the lower cranium and the lower face kind of connect together and breathe together, and they've got this nice grounded feel. Notice you can drop back and you can feel the back of your cranium breathing. You can drop back in yourself, sit right back into the back of the head, or even behind the back of the head. And then feeling the middle part of the cranium breathing around the ears, and the middle part of the face, the sinuses, the nasal passageways, the nose, the cheekbones, and the sides of the head in the middle, around and above the ears. Notice this has a different energy. It's a bit higher, and notice it connects to your lungs, to your chest. It has more of a feeling, emotional quality to it. Rising up in the face into the eyes and the ethmoid between the eyes, notice a bright white energy there. You might get a flashing white energy in your eyes. And dropping back in the head and feeling the top of the head. And connect to the higher energies in the brain. The eyes and the top of the head relate to the brain and connect up to the higher self. Notice you can feel all of that. You can feel the top of the skull, the face and cranium, the middle of the skull, the face and cranium, and the lower skull. You can feel them all breathing together, and the brain breathing. It all breathes as one unit. And at the bottom it will sit you down into your pelvis. In the middle it will connect more to the fluids and your heart and lungs. At the top it will connect to the brain and higher energies. And if you come around the TMJs where the jaw is connecting into the cranium, just next to the ear holes, just in front of your ear holes, and this part of the cranium and the top of the jaw there, this will connect you to the shoulder joints, to the hip joints, to the spine, and you'll start feeling all of that energy from your cranium starting to move down the spine, starting to move down the arms and legs. Notice how you enter into your body, and all of that breath from the skull, from the face, from the cranium starts releasing down. You can feel maybe different vertebrae releasing. You can feel the energy starting to percolate in your body. You can feel it traveling down through your arms and legs. You may drop below the face and cranium. You may drop down into the neck, be hanging around that area a bit more. Relax the back of the neck. Relax the back of your head. Relax your whole body. Just gently breathing with holographic breathing, the whole body breathing, the whole skull breathing, the brain breathing, everything breathing. Every cell, every organ. Notice you can also connect to the beyond, either through the top of your head or the back of your head. You can connect to the earth, gently breathing with holographic breathing. Definitely people's necks, relax your necks, let the energy travel through the vertebrae in your neck. Let that give way. And allow just wherever it feels in your body, wherever you are, whatever's happening in your body, just being aware of that, this very subtle healing energy and movement, moving through different areas of you. How deeply profound and natural this breathing is. How you don't, once it's going, you don't even have to think about it anymore. It just runs by itself. Gently breathing. The throat. Let your throat relax. People are holding on to their throats a bit. It is often to do with the sexual energies from the ovaries and testes rising through the front of the body, through the throat, and up through the head. Letting your sexual energies release. Allow that to travel through the top of the chest, through your throat. Allow that to connect to the higher self through your face and cranium. This is for channeling. Allow your throat to relax so those energies can release from the pelvis through your throat and neck and up into the beyond. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. The throat is for channeling. When you let that happen, when you let those energies rise, connect into the higher self, the divine energies respond and start receiving the energies back from the divine, from the higher self. Allow yourself to receive the higher self into your body, into your energies. Allow yourself to resonate with the higher self, to become part of the higher self. So you're no longer just this physical body, you are part of the higher self. Allowing that to connect with the earth through the arms, legs, hands and feet, and also the sit bones. Allow yourself to align with the higher self and the beneficial energies. Allow yourself to let go of the control and be part of the divine makeup. The energies and reality of the beyond. Allow yourself to receive that reality. Allow yourself to receive that message. It may not come in words, it may just come as an energy or a feeling or an understanding or a knowing or just an energy. You may not know what it is or what it's about. But if you feel to, letting that come into you, letting yourself be a channel, let your throat relax and let yourself channel. Let that energy stream through you, gently breathing with the holographic breathing, allowing yourself to stream energies from the divine. Allow yourself to be part of the divine, mirrored in the divine. You're not this lonely little body in this life. You are part of this incredible picture, incredible energies beyond anything we can even start to imagine. Letting that breathe through you, letting your DNA be upgraded. Let yourself take on the new energies of the new time from the divine realms and the divine intelligence. There's a message and an energy to be received. It's up to you if you want to receive that, if you want to become a warrior for the divine and the new times. And feeling that in your legs, you allow that to come into you, and it's the arms and legs that allow you to act out that energy, those messages, that realm in your life on earth. Let it stream down through your arms and legs. This will manifest that energy into your life and everything around you, allowing yourself to be a physical messenger of the gods. What more could you ask for? What better job could there be than that? If you want that, allow that. Allow that energy. Allow that channel. Allow that streaming. Let go of your mind and your conceptions of how things could be, and just let that energy stream through you in a state of no mind. Let your brain go, let your throat go, and stream that energy through. Okay, we're going to come back in about a minute. So letting that calm down. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. So TMJs are here. If you put your finger just in front of your ears, move your jaw up and down, you'll feel a little bulbous thing going up and down, and that's the top of your jaw where it's joining under your cranium. That is the TMJs there. And I was talking about the socket in the cranium that it goes into. So it's the junction between the jaw and the cranium, just there. No, my cranium has fallen apart. Actually, I can take the jaw off. We're not going to be using that point. Well, we might use it at the end. Here's a cranium without a face on it. You see the jaw is moving there. You see this hole here, well, I've got my finger in there, that's the ear hole there. And see where the jaw fits in just directly in front of the ear hole there. That's the TMJs. So that was just a general sense of how the energies rise through the face and cranium, and actually they go through all of these different energy systems that we'll be working with in the pelvis. And I'll talk about this as we go through it. Here is a pelvis. Here is, let's do it with the hip on. You see, that's your hip, that's your leg bone there. And see this is your sit bones. Can you see how that looks like a jaw? This is like the jaw for the pelvis, and the lower back of the jaw back here, that's to do with the deep earth energies. The lower back of the head, that's to do with the deep earth energies. The lower back of the pelvis, or into this central energy of the pelvis. It's the lower energy, and they relate to certain organs, but I'm not going to go through them at this time. We're just going to drop into that deep dark energy. So we're going to feel that to start off with, and then from the sit bones and the back of the pelvis we're going to come forwards into the pubic arch here. As you move forwards in the pelvis, the face has fallen to pieces on my skull. Hang on, actually no, I can stick that back together. When they described this skull as coming in lots of different bits, they meant it. It just falls apart at the drop of a hat. I thought it might stick together, but it just falls apart. As you move from the back of the cranium, see that big fire phoenix? That is the front of the pelvis, and the fire energies for the pelvis, and then the back of the cranium, lower back, is this kind of green energy, which is deep earth energies. Same happening in the face, deep dark green energies. You come forwards, the chin, fire energies, into the nasal passageways, fire energies. So start off in the back of the jaw, the back of the pelvis, you get deep earth energies. When you come forwards in the pelvis, you activate the fire energies, and the organs in the pelvis to do with the fire energies are the chalice, that's the uterus and prostate, and the seed, the ovaries and testes. So it lights up that particular circuit and those organs. And those organs relate to other organs in the fire circuit and other energy points in the fire circuit through the whole body, through the arms and legs. But we're just going to do the pelvis. So we drop into this fiery energy. Then from that, we move into the yellow energies. And the yellow energies for the pelvis is the clitoris. You know, however often I put that clitoris somewhere where I can find it, it just disappears. I feel like I've got this wife or somebody. No, we're not doing that tonight. Stay away from that. Hang on, no, she's out. She's okay, she's happy. Here we go. So here we have the clitoris. And it really is like that. I can put it somewhere safe and come to show it in the group. It's just, maybe it's shy, I don't know. But this is a big clitoris. It's like an Amazonian woman. It's too big for the pelvis. But it fits in here like this. This is where your clitoris, and a lot of more elderly people, because this only got shown, you know, they didn't include it in the anatomy books until about 2008 or 9. They said, no, women don't have clitorises, or it's just this tiny, small, little thing, until some women started saying, that's a load of rubbish, mate. It's like this. And this is what it looks like. And the scientist had to put it in the anatomy books. So there it is, this big, luxurious organ that fits into there like that. And the vagina is coming through here. There, that's it. The base and the vagina is through this area. Now, for the men, the yellow energy, so the clitoris, and I include these, I call these, I don't divide it into two organs like in the anatomy, which is just one organ. It's the clitoris, and these are the bulbs of the clitoris, I've called them. So it's one organ. For the men, the erectile tissue of the penis, now quite often you're just aware of this bit because that's what does the job, but it goes down the same area. It travels down, back through the pelvis, right back to the sit bones. It comes in here and drops. And that is the area that for the men, the urogenital diaphragm, and the same area that the clitoris is for the female. That's where that energy initiates of the yellow energy, and then it comes forwards into the penis. So we're going to work with that area. Also relates this cartilage where the pelvis joins at the front. It relates to the tongue, the nose, in the cranium, the ethmoid, between the eyes. That's the yellow, many other bits in it, but we're just going to work with the clitoris, the erectile tissue of the penis, and the other point where it balances in the pelvis is the coccyx here. You see this bone here at the end, tip here, you've got the coccyx there. So it makes this V kind of down here and then to the coccyx. It makes this, diamond shape in the base of the pelvis. That's the yellow energy circuit, connects to specific organs, connects to specific places in the torso, the arms and legs, but we're just doing the pelvis today. So that is the yellow energies. And interestingly, the other place that where it connects to in the face, the nasal passageways, the ethmoid, those I think are the only places that have any erectile tissue. So the yellow energies really connect to the erectile tissue. And this aids your breathing, because once the erectile tissue in the nasal passageways and the ethmoid starts working, it just opens all of the air passageways. So very good organ for all sorts of things, but also breathing, very much related to the tongue, which some also gets involved kind of sexually in that area sometimes, if you're lucky enough, that comes in that area. So that this sensuous quality, you know, the tongue is used a lot, tongue to tongue, mouth to mouth, and it relates to the clitoris. The breasts, which are a lot to do with the ovaries and testes also, and the nipples, the breasts are a bit like external ovaries, and they all relate to each other in different types of sexual energy. The next sexual organ, people don't think of it as sexual, it's not really designed for sex, but it has a sexual quality, is the rectum. And we have the lung circuit, becomes down into the colon, then it drops into the rectum. The rectum is the bottom of that circuit and has a very lovely energy. People, oh, you don't want to go there, that's really dirty. But you work with that in holographic breathing, and you can feel the sensuality, and it very readily, the rectum very readily turns into Kundalini. It travels up the spine or up the center line, and it lights up the central complex through the brain and the thalamus area in the center of the brain. So we'll then, and I'm going through this in the order of the energies as they rise up through the face and cranium. So the next one is in the pelvis, is the rectum. And as it's part of the lung circuit, it relates to the sides of the pelvis, this sideways opening of the pelvis on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath, and then together to the center line, the rectum, and this lovely Kundalini that rises from that. Then from the rectum, we move into the blue energies, very potent sexual energy. This is the vagina. It's the soft tissue of the penis. It's the area that the urethra, is that right? Urethra runs through the penis. It's the bladder, it's the urethra, the channel that comes down taking the urine. So in both men and women, it's the bladder and urethra for women. It's the vagina for men, the soft tissue of the penis. It also relates to the kidneys. It's also as a place, as an energy centers, it's this top bone along here, and it rides right around the inside of the pelvis here and into the sacroiliac joint. So while we're working with that, because that's very much at the front, we also get that to release the sacroiliac joints at the back, in the face, right around circle, right through here, through the face and through the cranium and across the top of the head here, and the top front bits sometimes here of the pelvis. So that's the blue energies. We're not going to spend, you know, this isn't an advanced webinar, we don't have a huge amount of time, but we could hopefully just drop into each one of these energies. Then from the blue energies, they're quite high up, we move into the higher energies, which are the face, the eyes, the cranium, the top of the head. And this is this bottom section here of the sacrum. It's this top section across here and out across the top of the pelvis there. These house the higher energies, relates a lot to the arms and legs. It relates to the cerebrum and the cerebellum, and it's a strong channeling energy, connects directly into the higher self. And then we're just going to let all of those energies balance back and forth in the pelvis. You can like have an overriding sexual itch somewhere in your pelvis, and it sometimes is because it's just coming into a particular, you know, an organ, the ovaries and testes, or the prostate and uterus, or the vagina and the penis, and it's kind of building in one area. But when it moves through all of these organs, it disseminates that energy around, and it becomes a very different thing. It doesn't become something you have to throw out of yourself anymore. And also, holographic breathing is an inner tantric and kundalini breathing system. As soon as we start contacting these organs, that energy instantly just starts to per something. I think one of those pipettes starts rising up through your body and up through the spine and transforming through the kundalini, working its way up into the higher self and transcendence. And as we're also finding out in the advanced webinars, does the same thing going down the arms and legs, and just like turning the volume up about 10 times as it goes through the arms and legs. You know, I thought, oh, this will ground everyone. No, this just makes it stronger. But we're just kind of letting whatever's going to happen in the pelvis, letting it generally move through the body however it wants to move. I don't think I want to speak about it any more than that. The message I'm getting is we will be doing that, but something up here really wants to channel as well. There's a message that's available, as with the first meditation. I wasn't who felt that energy coming through? Raise your hand if you felt that in the first meditation. Yeah, it was like I was doing something else and this clear message came out. No, we want to say something. Get this. So you got that. So that may happen again, and when that starts happening, I just don't stop it. You know, there is a format that I try and do, but there are energies that just take over, and it may not be exactly what I'm trying to teach. So we may get halfway through it and it may feel too much, or an energy may come through and it just wants to channel, or different things need to happen. And we're going to go with that, because if we don't, it just gets messy and doesn't work. So I'm not the boss. It's as simple as that. Okay. All right. Closing your eyes. And gently dropping into the holographic breathing. The lips are relaxed and closed. The tongue is relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. The breath is through the nose. On the in-breath, the jaw relaxes open. And on the out-breath, the jaw relaxes closed. Small, easy movements of the jaw. Notice as soon as that's going, you kind of drop into this different space and just move somewhere else. You kind of move into a gently shamanistic, halfway between sleep and awake space. Deeply relaxing, deeply meditative. Letting just the jaw move and breathing. Tongue relaxed on the roof of the mouth, the lips relaxed and sealed. Relax the back of your neck. Let the back of your neck relax. Let the back of your head relax. And allowing yourself to sit back. Excuse me. Allowing yourself to sit back in your jaw. Towards the back of the jaw, and sitting back into the back of your head. And notice it gets much deeper and darker, and you sit into the back of your body. Dropping down into the sit bones, into the lower shoulder blades, back of the pelvis, the heels of the hands and feet. Notice feels deep, dark, rich energy. Very grounded, very wholesome, healing, dark, rich energies. You sit back into yourself and you sit down in yourself. You may feel this magnetic connection to the center of the earth. You may feel your sit bones pulling towards the center of the earth. And just notice that deep, rich, dark energy. And let that filter through your whole body. And even though it's deep and dark, it still connects to the higher self. Notice it releases through your brain and up into the higher self. It's like a rainbow. The deep dark energies in you relate to the deep dark energies in the higher self. It rises up, it channels into its counterpart in the higher self. It's holographic. It mirrors in you, it mirrors in all the different parts of you, it mirrors in the earth, it mirrors in the higher self and the divine energies. You can feel that deep, rich energy connecting to the earth. You can also feel it connecting and channeling with the higher self. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. And starting to move forwards in the sit bones towards the pubic arch. Notice how you start feeling warmer. You start feeling your heart. Start moving forwards in the jaw, around the chin area. Start moving forwards in the cranium to that fire phoenix at the bottom front of the cranium. Notice you start getting this warm energy, especially from the pubic arch and the underside of the pubic arch. It's like this molten rock fire there. And start getting an itch in your chalice, the uterus and prostate. You may also feel your seed, the ovaries and testes. And just sitting in those organs, in that energy, letting your chalice and seed heal. To balance this with the back of the body a bit, you can feel the lower spine. It connects to the lower spine and the psoas muscles there. This will give it some earth. The psoas muscles connects it to the legs. But feeling the pubic arch, especially the underside of the pubic arch. And after a while you may feel your chalice starting to channel. You may feel your chalice releasing an energy up through the heart, through the thymus, through the thyroid, through the face, through the brain. But also after a while you may feel the chalice receiving for both the men and the women. And you may feel the interaction between your chalice and seed in the fire energies, sitting into that fire, letting that energy percolate. You can also let this energy travel down your legs to the earth. You can let it connect into the earth. Let it connect to the rock in the earth, and you can let it connect to the molten rock in the center of the earth. This is the uterus for the earth, the lava, the magma. feeling your chalice, feeling your seed, and feeling the connection to the chalice of the earth, for the seed of the earth. Warms your heart, travels through the face, travels through the cranium, rises up the fire energy connection to the higher self. You can feel the divine energies channeling down into your chalice and seed. Allow your chalice and seed to be healed. You may become aware of your heart quite strongly. Or the hara just below the navel. It's good to be aware of the hara just below the navel. This grounds the heart. And definitely let it run down through the legs. Letting your chalice and seed channel and heal. You may feel different emotions, you may have different feelings, and if they feel in any way overwhelming, just notice there's a clock with a dial on, and you can turn the quality down to a level where it just feels nice. You can be in your body and enjoy it. As you channel in this way, it starts clearing the karma in that area. And you may feel the qualities of that karma as it's releasing through the channel. And releases up into the higher self. We're going to stay there for a little while longer, and then we're going to move on. We're not spending a long time with these different organs. We are going to move through them all. In the more advanced webinars, we spend a whole webinar just with one organ, but we're just getting an idea of the qualities. So feeling your chalice channeling, feeling your seed seeding. Breathe gently with the holographic breathing. And from the pubic arch, dropping down into your clitoris, and for the men into the erectile tissue of the penis, in that same area, in the urogenital diaphragm. Notice you moved into a different circuit. It's not so hot. Notice how it connects to your nose, to your tongue, to the ethmoid bone between the eyes. It's good to connect it back to the coccyx at the back of the pelvis. Each time we move from one energy to another, you'll feel a release in your spine, allowing your spine to release as we move from the red energies to the yellow energies. Allow your spine to let go. Allow that Kundalini to rise up through your spine or your center line. Just gently breathing, being aware of the clitoris and the erectile tissue of the penis. Letting that rise up. Rises up through the spine, it rises up through the front of the body. Connects to the membranes of the brain. The yellow energies. Connects to the tongue. Notice how it connects to the tongue. Yeah, this yellow quality slowly expanding out through the connective tissue of the body. Allow that to move through your brain. Connects a lot to the connective tissue of the brain, the astrocyte cells in the brain. And allow your spine to release. It will start releasing different areas of your spine, or melting different areas of your spine. You'll start moving in to a new level of perception and being. Definitely let that travel through the cervical vertebrae, the vertebrae in your neck. The bit of tightness in the group, allowing your neck to relax, allowing those energies to travel through the neck. The trachea at the front of the neck, the spine at the back of the neck. Notice that ushers in the channel to do with the yellow energies, allowing the yellow energies channel to travel down through you, and you channel that quality from the higher self and the divine realms down into your clitoris, into your coccyx area, and through all of the organs to do with the yellow circuit, through the spine and the vertebrae. You don't have to know where they are, you just allow it to go through everything between, but especially the spine. Allow the energies to travel through the spine, and allow. This is what knocks people out. The yellow energies in the brain is what sends people to sleep. Allow that to connect through the membranes of the brain and the astrocyte cells of your brain. And let it travel down through your legs and into the earth. Let it ground. Let those energies travel through you. Let them travel through the clitoris, the erectile tissue of the penis, and it may be the front of the penis as well, but definitely the erectile tissue of the penis stretches out from the pubic arch right back to the sit bones. Channeling down your legs and into the earth. Melts the whole base of your pelvis. Breathe, it will release your diaphragm. Notice this circuit releases your diaphragm. It pulses through your brain. Definitely let it move through your neck, through your head, and breathe. Okay, in about a minute we're going to move on. Move into the sideways motion of the body opening to the sides on the in-breath, closing immediately on the out-breath. This is the lungs, it's the sinuses in the face, the sides of the face, the sides of the cranium, the sides of the pelvis, opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. It's the sides of the abdomen, colon in the abdomen. Feeling that lovely, nurturing, sideways breath. And the colon goes around up the right-hand side, across the top, down the left-hand side, and comes into the middle, into the rectum, allowing yourself to connect with the rectum, the sphincter muscle in the rectum. You get this energy almost instantaneously releases up through the center line of your body, or up through the spine and through the center of the brain. As we move from one organ to the next, let your spine go. That energy streams through your center line or through your spine. Let that energy also release down through the sides of the legs into the earth, and down the sides of the arms into the earth. Letting the rectum pulse, notice that driving through your brain, healing through your brain, and transforming through your spine. Gently doing the holographic breathing. It's the holographic breathing that connects to these energies. Especially the sphincter muscle in the rectum. Let this release. Rising up, feeling the pulsing through the center of your brain. It rises through the brain. Again, letting go of the throat. The channeling happens from the throat, or as the energy can hold in the throat and it breaks the channel, but you let the throat go, then the face and cranium start channeling. Letting your rectum channel. Letting your rectum create peace on earth, allowing the rectum to release up and allowing the channel to heal through your rectum, through that sphincter muscle, down the legs and into the earth. Really let that move through your legs. Let your legs ground that energy. And breathe gently with the holographic breathing. Notice that going through the colon and your intestines. And breathe. Okay, we're just touching the surface with these different organs, so in about a minute we're going to move on. Becoming aware of the bone at the top of the pubic arch that goes across to the sides of the wings of the pelvis. The bladder is sitting against this bone. And it also goes around that middle rim in the pelvis right back to the sacroiliac joints. Notice the energy's changed. Notice you can feel your bladder. Feel this blue energy. And your urethra, the tube that you pee through, dropping down to the pelvic floor. Connects to the kidneys and the adrenals. To a ring around the face and cranium. Many other points, but we're just being with it in the pelvis, the bladder, the urethra, the vagina, and the soft tissue of the penis, the tissue around the urethra as it goes along the underside of the penis, following it right from where it comes through the pelvic floor, along the underside of the penis. And again, you may feel it stronger, or it's actually in and under the pelvis for the men. And we're in the blue energies. Notice we're in a different energy system, very different quality. Allow your sacroiliac joints to release at the back of the pelvis. Allowing your soft tissue of the penis, the vagina to heal. Allowing the bladder and urethra to heal. Notice this very different quality of energy. Allow that to channel down through your legs. And again, letting your neck go. Let your neck and throat go. Let that energy release as we move from one energy to another. It releases through the spine, and you have to let your neck go so that it can channel through the neck, through the brain, and connect to its counterpart in the divine realms. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. It's holographic breathing that activates these energies. So gently doing the holographic breathing, letting the sexual potency rise from the urethra, the bladder, the vagina, and the soft tissue of the penis. And from the sacroiliac joints at the back, through the brain, through the sides of the head, the cheekbones, rising up into the blue energies in the heavens. Again, let that go through your neck. Let that channel through your neck. Let that travel down the outsides of your legs, and breathe. Healing your vagina, soft tissue of the penis, bladder and urethra. And definitely channel that through your neck so that it gets to, once it gets through the neck, it will go through the brain, will connect up. Gently breathing, whatever level that's happening to, allow that to happen. Healing the karma of the penis and vagina. Notice that moving in your spine. Let it heal through your spine. Notice each one of these has different qualities, different energies. You might feel that burning between your shoulder blades. And breathe. And if you're feeling things that are a bit uncomfortable as the karma clears, notice you don't have to do it full on. Just turn, like you've got a dial on a clock, and you can turn the quality of the feelings down to a level where you can integrate it, where it feels comfortable. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing, let that ground through the arms and legs, healing your vagina, soft tissue of the penis, bladder and urethra, the sacroiliac joints. And in about a minute we're going to move on. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. Starting to move back behind the rectum into the lower sacrum. Notice how you instantly get this bright white energy rising up through the spine, up to the top of your head and through your brain. The lower sacrum, notice it becomes white light. And the top of the sacrum, and as it rises out across the top of the pelvis, again this bright white energy releasing through the spine, through the brain. Let the neck relax, let the throat relax, let it go through the brain, heal the brain, and connect to God, the Creator, the higher self, whatever you want to call it, its counterpart in the heavens. You might feel the top of the shoulder blades releasing and the spine releasing. It's very refined energy. Spiritual type energies. Sacrum, top of the pelvis releases, and also allow that to ground down through the legs, down into the earth. Feeling this very bright light releasing from the sacrum and pelvis. And if you feel any tension in the pelvis, let it release, as it will relate to the whole pelvis, but it's mainly these areas, letting that bright light hit. And if you come out to the hip joints, where the legs are coming out, now you've got the outside of the hips, but it comes in further to the actual ball and socket joint, feeling the socket of that joint on both sides, and this relates to the legs. And the shoulder joints relate to the arms, and the temporal mandibular joint, the TMJs, relate to the jaw. And this bright white light energy travels down the jaw, down the arms, down the legs. And as that happens, it activates your spine. It moves through the spine at the same time. This is the second half of that circuit, the arms and legs, TMJs. Breathe. And that bright light goes to earth. Breathing gently. You may feel your brain melting. You may feel your spine melting. Allow it to melt. Allow the arms and legs to be part of this higher circuit, this bright white energy to burn through them and through the bones, right out to the toes and fingertips. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing, letting that sexual potency turn into divine light. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. Letting that divine light burn through you, especially the legs and the arms. And start feeling all the other energies of the pelvis, that there's the organs of the pelvis itself, becoming aware one by one of the different energies, whichever ones you want to. And feel the energies flowing back and forth between all of those different energy systems in the pelvis. And as the energy systems flow around the pelvis, so does the energies flow around the body, around the face and cranium, flow through the different organs. It may want to flow to one part of the pelvis, one organ, and then into another, letting that energy balance through the whole pelvis, through all of the organs of the pelvis. And breathe, letting, notice there's no sexual pressure there anymore, because it's moving around, it's balancing between all the different areas. Especially the insides of your groin. Let the insides of your groin release. And breathe. And let that sink into the sit bones, into the heels, to the heels of the hands, into the back of the jaw, into the back of the head. And breathe. Let that release through your spine, through your brain. Really sitting back to lower, deep, dark energy. Magnetic connection to the earth. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. So we will be coming back in about, well, we'll be making a finishing prayer in about a minute. So gently being with that. And sending a thank you to the earth. Sending a thank you to the higher self. Sending a thank you to the beneficial energies. letting the energies go off for love and healing to the earth, for love and healing to the higher self and beneficial energies, and allowing yourself to be loved and healed. Allowing the energies to go out to all sentient beings for love and healing. And you are a sentient being, allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And when you feel ready, gently allow yourself to come back. Now, I hadn't expected that to go on for anything like that length. So let me just check the time. My word, it was really long meditation, so well done for staying with that. So, in the advanced webinars, we did a lot. We went through a lot very quickly, and we didn't really go into depth. But all of those energies, they have energy areas in the arms and legs that relate to those energies. There's energy points and areas of the whole torso that relate to that. The different vertebrae in the spine, the different areas of the neck, the different areas of the face, the different areas of the cranium, different areas of the brain. It's that same image mapped out over and over, and all of the organs relate to those different energies. And those ones that we're working with in the pelvis are the sexual potency, which just naturally starts being disseminated, just naturally starts vaporizing and moving through the body when we're doing holographic breathing. So they're kind of the base energy that rises up through all of these other circuits through the whole body. And in the advanced webinar, we just work with one circuit for 4 webinars, and then one organ in each of those webinars. But to be honest, we could spend a whole week just going deeper and deeper with one organ. So it's a huge work. This area is huge. That doesn't include the movement of the breath and the whole cranial sacral side of how it moves through the body and different things, but just this energetic mapping that I've been mapping out with holographic. There's a huge amount of depth and a very deep transcendental kundalini tantric healing system that opens with holographic breathing. Now, I've given away far more than I've ever given in one of these free webinars. This is normally just for the people who come to the advanced webinars. And it wasn't going to be all of this, but as the energies built up, you know, I kind of get told what I've got to teach. As the energies were building, it became apparent that, you know, okay, it's free webinar, but we're going to teach that, even though it's brand new people. But if you want to take this in more depth and really want to inquire into a breathing system, a breathing healing system that can totally transform your body, completely reorientate you to a different way of being, connection, a powerful connection to the higher self and divine beings, a powerful connection to the earth. As soft and gentle as this breathing may be, at the other end, it is potent. If you can feel energies, this is a potent energy work. So come along there every Sunday. We're finishing off the fire energies next Sunday. We started with the ovaries, testes, or the chalice and seed. And we actually did a whole webinar series, a whole series that I will make available, that you can buy the recordings. You can come to the last one of those and buy the recordings of the previous 3, just buy the whole series, or you can just come to the Heart webinar. But what we will be starting on Easter Sunday, we did one, and I'm running that one again. It's free for the people who, if you came to the first one and you didn't get the emails, that's free for you because you did the last one. But basically we're starting that again on Easter Sunday because there's just a huge amount of depth, and we're going to be working with the legs. Then the next one is the cerebellum. It's to do with time travel, it's to do with the dream state, it's to do with deep healing. It's a lot of the reasons people go to sleep in holographic breathing, because they're connecting to the dream state in the cerebellum. Now that the arms and the cerebrum, very strong circuit, we're doing that. So, you know, if you've enjoyed this in the pelvis, you know, we do that intrinsically more focused and deeply, cleansing every organ, cleansing each area of the spine, clearing the bardo, clearing our karma every Sunday. So that is all there if you wish to have it. This recording will go out tomorrow or the day after. You know, everything's breaking around me. I've got to do something to my computer to get it going first so I can make the recordings, but this will come out in a couple of days so you can go over that meditation again. I don't know how big holographic breathing will get, but it feels to me that the core of people in this, I don't know that it'll grow much bigger because it's such a strong thing. I'm not sure that this is for the masses. It may be. But if you want to join that inner family, come along to those webinars. And they're not expensive. I don't make this expensive in any way. So that is all there.